Summer 2015, everyone. It's time for the last match of day number 2 between Amaz and Purple from Team Archon. Both have had a long journey to get to where they are. Both are 5-1, but only one can advance to the top 8. And here to bring along the action is Lothar from Team Nylon. Chalky, who just advanced to the top 8 from Dignitas, but he's also a rising star in casting. And Sixo, who has also started his road to retirement, joining us to casting desk from Team Archon. Here to also bring the insight from his teammates. How you doing, Sixo? Yeah. How'd your tournament go on your end?
So I lost one game to Doom, Bane of Doom into Magennis. One game
of course.
due to Magennis being, Maligas being my last card when I had least it if it was top 29. And the last game was, let me think.
Man, it shook you up a lot. If you're having trouble remembering, like Sixo's one of those guys who never forgets. And if it shook you up that much, but either way, it seems like you had some pretty unlucky bad beats. It happens, and unfortunately, you only can lose twice in this format, and then you're out of the top 8. But everyone still knows that you'll hit first next season in Legends, so don't worry, Sixo. That fact still remains. In the meantime, we have your teammates here playing Amaz vs Purple. Quite the unlucky fortune of events, but I guess the silver lining is Archon's guaranteed to go to the top 8 and has representation.
Yeah, but I think both of them would be favored against the average 5-1 opponent. So I think we'd have a better chance to have 2 people advance than have 0 people advance if they would play other opponents. So not happy with the matchup, but
how'd you gauge their power levels here, Vegeta? Like who's the stronger one here, and what exactly is their power level?
Purple Drank's power level is over 9,000. But his lineup might be a little bit worse against Amaz, so we'll see.
Oh man, you guys are going straight in the game. I thought we were going to banter a little bit more. I was having fun spouting memes, but this will be brought to you by you 3 guys, Chalky, Sixo, and Lothar, so have fun.
Thank you, Ferdinand. Now we're jumping straight into the game. Druid versus Rogue, if I say so correctly, right?
Yeah.
So basically, Amaz is playing the standard mid-range with double combo, right?
I believe so. I haven't watched too many of his games. But
Amaz is a druid.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, Purple on Rogue. I think he considers himself favored in this matchup, but Amaz's hand is really good.
Yeah, Wild Grove into Palted Shredder. The Big Game Hunter doesn't fit well for now.
But you play the lore on turn 3, right?
2 lores is actually pretty good, because it just ensures he won't run out of steam, and that's one of the ways Rogue can beat you. He's just killing all your threats pretty efficiently.
Well, he lacks an answer to the free HP minions for now, but with minions of his own, it's not really a big problem. But he wants to draw those reps for sure.
Yeah, Maz is just going to hang on to like coin innervate stuff, just kind of make his curve a lot better.
In this situation, would you trade to get the backstep going?
No, there's no way you trade there. Your opponent has to do the trade anyway. It could trade into your Shredder, but that's kind of the same. It's just like 3 damage you get in for free.
Yeah, I feel like the Rogue has the burden of aggression in this matchup, because if you just keep trading, eventually your Druid opponent will just kind of taunt up, keep drawing cards with lures, with wraths, and then combo you out. Whereas you don't really have that. And so you can see that here when Amaz goes for the trade.
Silence and the Wrath clears the board.
Yeah.
It's really important to gain advantage on his side.
But by using his coin, he will play off curve next turn since he has to innovate the lore. Wastes 1 mana. Not great.
It's not too bad for him, though.
Well, he gained like 4 mana with Wild Grove already from turn 2, so I don't think that's a huge investment on that part.
That prep was a really nice draw. He decides he's probably going to use it for sprint rather than like prepping out the fan to kill a 2/4 this turn.
Also, he already saw a keeper, so he wants to go for a 6/6 fan cleave.
Yep.
I think we'll probably just see Boom.
Boom is probably the best, but...
Can you explain why you expect him to play Boom?
Boom just puts more power on the board and makes the Rogue do more stuff rather than playing more minions. So
I think that was rhetorical. But so now the prep sprint Edwin would be the best at turn 7, but there's no time to play it.
I don't think he can afford to play the sprint this turn. It looks like he's... Wait, shouldn't he make a 6/6?
Yeah, he does, but...
Oh, yeah, okay. I forgot the prep had been played.
He could have played the fan first.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think he wants to have Boom Ward fan cleave.
You do not want to... Well, he didn't want to proc.
Never punished. Well, 7 damage.
Yeah.
That was a slight misplay in the order of cards being played, but still.
I feel like it was okay, because if you play the fan first, the Moonbots could kill your Drake, removing the spell power from your Eviscerate.
Well, then you have to face tank it, but.
Yeah, which is really bad.
Yeah,
going to 14.
Like, the odds of it. Well, I guess if you only have 2 minutes.
I think Purple played it pretty fine.
Yeah.
Obviously, you lose out. It's a risk-reward thing, and Purple's the type of player that will go for the highest EV every time. So he's just looking to get the most consistent play that will put him ahead. And I think he's done a pretty good job, because Amaz had basically all you can ask for as a Druid with Wild Growth and Innervate, and it still looks like Purple's in a really nice position.
He only lacks 1 card, which is Harrison Jones, in this situation.
Yeah, exactly. I'm really interested he sprinted here, though.
Yeah, now he has to trade to prevent lethal.
Yeah.
If he would have went for the low step, he could go for the more aggressive play and just smork him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I really would have maybe liked deadly Lotheb and just make a big push.
That's 5 damage from on the weapon.
Yeah, you can
that's
do 15.
15 damage 1 turn, and
8
you
HP
deny.
and you have the Lotheb effect out.
Yeah, I think he's going for more of a long game plan with this. But
I don't like that at all. Now he has like a really weird trade, because if he trades the Edwin Van Clef into the 5/5, it's being left to a really good swipe.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Amaz would feel bad if Purple would just like SM Orc him down with 15 damage on board and low step effect. Purple doesn't want to lose his salary. I think that was the right play.
Shots fired. Oh, he's thinking
I'd
about
like to
it.
see him go face, yeah. He obviously can't really get comboed unless there's an Innervate. There hasn't been like an Emperor played yet, so he's feeling pretty safe.
So just the Savage Roar is 6 damage. That's 11, 13 damage. Second Savage Roar would have been lethal.
Yeah. But Purple Drake himself said he would never play Sprint if it wasn't the last card in his hand. So playing Sprint over Lotheb
so strange.
Double Deadly, like, especially him, he's like the type of player who will never do that.
I think he was looking for something like a Blade Flurry off the Sprint with those deadly poisons, but
he would also need a prep, otherwise he could just do it next turn. Like
now Amaz is basically going to look to survive. I'm surprised he didn't attack Purple, though. Also, with the line Purple took, he gets to save Lotheb until exactly the combo turn. So now he can afford to face tank that Ancient Allure.
Yeah, but there would be no combo turn. He would be dead on turn 8.
True.
Well, yeah, hopefully.
Like, he has 5 damage on the dagger and 7 on board.
I think the double deadly Lotheb probably would have resulted in
winning the game right now.
Probably winning. It wouldn't be right now because Amaz would clearly taunt a Druid or heal with lore, and then he'd just have to sprint this turn. But still, that kind of puts your opponent behind. So he's going to Lotheb now and face tank. And now, basically the key here is he needs to set up lethal for next turn.
Well, the sap is definitely a way to go here, because if Amaz wants to taunt up just to deny some value from the Lotheb, then he has a face tank anyway.
Right. So basically
really
next turn, Amaz is going to have to play defensively as possible, knowing he can just combo for the win the next turn. He doesn't need anything else. A dagger up here would be really interesting. He'd be playing around the possibility of top decking a Blade Flurry. He just hovered over his deck. That'd be 2 out of 13.
And there's 1 Eviscerate still in the deck.
Right. And so playing Blood Mage gets you 1 more card, but when you draw Blade Flurry, it's basically a blank.
Would you expect Amaz to play Ancient of Lore or Druid of the Claw?
Probably Ancient Lore, because Druid of the Claw is so weak to sap.
The Harrison is kind of too late to the party.
Yeah, I don't think you Harrison here, really.
No, that doesn't make any sense, because he's at 9 mana, so Purple just can remake the dagger without any big loss.
I think the Blood Mage Thalnos was extremely key, and I actually think Purple has won this game.
If you don't charge the Druid of the Claw, you can't remove the oil targets. So
basically, if you didn't play the Blood Mage, Amaz would be able to hero power down the 5/5, removing 3 damage from the oil, which I believe would be relevant.
Do you think there's like any way that Purple charges the Druid of the Claw into Thalnos just to remove the oil target?
That could happen, but that doesn't save you any health over Ancient Alluring.
The only scenario
Ancient Allure saves you 5, and charging only saves you 4 because it remove 1 plus the 3 from the oil.
Yeah, but it removes the board. Like.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna see that, but.
No, that's.
Oh, okay. So he's gonna save health by double trading, knowing he just has game with the combo. So that's actually extremely smart. I didn't really see that. We weren't looking at the board for a while, and yeah, now Purple needs to draw something. And there's Flurry. And he's 1 mana off doing a flurry for the win.
Combo? Yeah.
He's 1 damage off and 1 mana off. And now he has to Azure Drake into Earthen Ring. Oh, he already played Earthen Ring.
He's only playing 1?
We don't know.
I believe so.
Chances are he has a second one, but even then, like getting that.
Yeah, I don't think there's any lethal here, right? It's 12 max.
Well, he would have to redagger for the Blade Fury to.
Yeah, he's looking at it and he's like,
yeah, there's nothing here.
But even like your opponent kind of showed he has combo, there's still a chance that he doesn't have it and just wants to top deck it. So if you are purple, do you really Drake into Farseer or just dagger up, go for the maximum amount of damage and hope he doesn't have it?
Well, I feel like he has another Farseer going for this play.
Did we have any other options? I would have dropped it anyway. Like the sprint doesn't really do much.
Well, you can't lethal your opponent, and dealing 12 when they're at 13 doesn't really do anything.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, some interesting plays by purple this game. I think I like the Blood Mage overall. Amaz had to have exactly Druid Claw to punish it.
Or swipe, and then there was no swipe.
Well, he had the Lothab effect.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah.
I still don't understand what Plague would punish the Lothab on turn 7.
Yeah. Definitely an interesting game. Potentially there was a way for purple to win it really close.
I don't think it would be close if you
played the Lothab, right?
I think it still would be a little close because you'd still have to sprint the next turn.
No, I don't think. Like, how do you remove lethal? He's on 8 HP, 5 damage dagger, 5/5 Lothab, 6/6 Fan Cleave, and the what other minion was there? A Farseer, I think.
It was an Azure Drake and an Edwin. Yeah. Well, we're gonna go into game 2, and Amaz now playing Zoo up 1-0.
And purple is again with the coin. No, first time with the coin in his hand. So this is really important. The Edwin Van Clef, if he pairs that with a backstab, it's just crushing.
Yeah,
Zoo
even like a prep would be really nice.
Fan of Knives, whatever you can just pair up with the Edwin to make a giant or subpar giant on turn 2 would be insane.
Amaz's hand looks really weak, but it's actually good because you don't want to have a knife dagger. You don't want to have a Dire Wolf into a Rogue turn 2 with coin. So having the egg is actually the best card you could ask for.
Yeah. And purple's hand, if you're Amaz, you're really scared of like coin SI, backstabs, all that. But purple's hand is actually really weak in this matchup.
He needs a prep or a backstab for that hand cleave.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind.
But then...
Oh, wow. Wrong order of cards there for Amaz. Would have really loved to play an Imp Gang boss on curve.
How many imps do you think will you get when playing Implosion on the Shredder?
I've had so many implosions for 2 lately.
Wow, that's loud. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but we can barely hear each other.
That's probably coming through the mics.
Yeah, probably. It's been bleeding through.
2.
Oh,
I called it. I swear it's rigged at this tournament, man. Me and my opponent, we rolled 9 out of 9 for 2.
No. My opponent had double 4. There's no way.
Okay, so you were stealing our RNG.
Your
opponent. Okay. Never lucky, 6-0?
Never lucky.
Well,
the finals here. Do you want to keep it for like a key Blade Flurry? Well, his hand sucks anyway, so...
Right. I think he just wants to get the cycle off, maybe just put more stuff on the board. The Argus here is going to be really good. I think that'll be what he plays. He could go for just a Lothab this turn and trade the 1/1 into the Shredder.
But if you play Argus, you trade your 1/1 into the Shredder anyway first. Since you want to play Flame Imp Argus.
Right.
Oh.
Wow.
That's worse.
Really bad for purple.
That's even worse than the pirate beast, because it's just a basic 1/1. It's on the beast again. The parrot.
Yep. So.
Blade for being drawn, but no buffs for the weapon.
Yep.
It's also awkward. He's lacking everything.
Yeah, it's just a really awkward hand in general for purple. I think we might see a sap on the egg. Yeah.
Usually you want to sap the Flame Imp just because it deals damage to yourself again.
Yeah, sometimes you can do that, but I mean, he was never going to have an efficient way through that egg. Usually your best way is like a big Blade Flurry, which he has, but like you said, there's no oil, no deadly. And Lothab, really nice against rogues, but luckily purple has like an Azure Drake to play next turn just to do something.
And a fan in case Amaz goes for the trade.
Yeah.
Wait, why the fan? The fan will be for 8 mana.
Well, later on.
Later on, after the Lothab attacks into the Azure Drake.
So, things have kind of gotten a lot better for purple. The Warlock is actually at quite a low health total as the Zoo. You don't you don't really care about your health until it's too late, essentially.
Against Rogue, you do.
Yeah.
You expect to oil into Blade Flurry at some point. That's lots of damage.
Yeah, wow, that sap could be really solid here.
But if he saps, he doesn't develop anything.
Right, he will just play it again.
again.
And we actually do see a second Farseer in his deck, so he was trying to draw into that out.
Yeah.
Yep.
Still it's really falling back on the board. Like,
it's pretty interesting. He decides to heal over playing a 4/4 red one.
Yeah, was he just written by Lethal Descent?
No, he just wants the Fan Cleave to be bigger. He wants like maybe 8/8 or 10/10 Fan Cleave if possible, if he draws the prep.
Really waiting for that prep.
He hasn't drawn any prep, and prep is like the most important card against Zoo.
Yeah, it really just helps you establish the tempo, get ahead on board, and Zoo essentially has nothing to come back on board. There's Implosion, Amaz is running Bane of Doom, but other than that, they have no real removal. They're just playing minions. And so if you can challenge those, you basically can't lose.
Talking about Bane of Doom.
Yeah. Bane of Doom in the hand, but it really can't hit anything unless he like Bane of Doomed his own egg.
Is he running Mortal Coils?
I don't believe so. I've seen a few people do that, but
it's like one of the rare situations that it's actually worth to play the Mortal Coil, not for draw. But otherwise, it kind of sucks. So,
would you trade here? That's like the big consideration. Do you trade your 7/6 into a 3/3 Farseer?
You saw one of this.
Probably not.
Right?
But you really don't want to get oiled and hit in the face.
Yeah. Okay, so he will trade. Thinks he can win the long game, which is
well, not. He can trade when he ensures himself with the Void Color and the egg against a huge AoE, right? So that was really clever.
He's very insured against AoE. We could see something like a Sap and then a Blade Flurry.
But what does that do? Don't you just want to sap Farseer and play a 6/6 cleave?
Well, he definitely wants to remove that 7/3 while he can, but yeah, he's just going to develop. So obviously very much valuing development. He even gets up a dagger.
Amaz would probably expect him to play Deadly Poison Blade Flurry to remove the 7 damage if he had it. So that's kind of faking and bluffing he doesn't have it.
Well, I think it shows he probably has a Flurry combination because Dagger Up is pretty weak in that situation rather than like playing a card to buff your red one. But I would expect Amaz to sort of respect the Blade Flurry, but not too much. He already has a board that's really good against it.
But doesn't it just like kind of speak for Oil Flurry instead of Deadly Poison Flurry?
Right. I think that's exactly what Amaz probably gets from that move.
I think the Void Core has to be left undamaged just to ensure it will be something against the AoEs, because if he leaves him at 1 HP,
is kind of the same. Like just getting the Imp Gank boss also guarantees you to have something, and you can play the Bane of Doom if you were to trade.
So he's going to play the Juggler first because he will get a Juggle off of this. It's interesting, though. I guess he's going for the Bane of Doom.
Yeah, the first Bane of Doom. Yep. If you get like a Mal'Ganis here, all of your demons would have been huge, and the trade would be really well.
Not a very great one, and now this Flurry, because he can even sap the egg and an oil.
That was super unlucky too.
So that's 12 damage.
But he lacks the backstab for the egg, so he can clear everything.
Do you just go for 12 damage here? It would leave him with a 4/4 and a taunt in hand, but
maybe just Deadly Flurry, Redagger, and attack though.
Wait, he can sap the Void Walker, right? So he has 5, 7, 9.
If he wants to push for full damage, he can sap the Void Walker and do 12 to face. But that leaves your opponent with a 4/4 Nerubian in play. And it looks like he's doing it.
He ain't no bitch. He has sprint. He can sprint into a Vis.
Sprint into a Vis. That's what he's feeling here, and his opponent obviously has very low pressure on him.
Yeah, and he can't really tap again.
Yeah.
I mean, he kind of can. Like, he's seen both SIs, I guess? Or
just one.
Okay, but still.
What else does 2 damage? Well, his hand curved out anyway, and now this is lethal represented. So purple needs to draw into something that does 4 or something to regain the board.
And he used one Eviscerate at turn 2.
He did. And obviously it's got to be sprint.
The first backstab. Nope.
Prep's okay.
Agent.
So there's SI. So I think he can stay alive for sure here.
Could also prep the fan, have one more chance.
Yep. Exactly.
But he wants to think about the backstab first before he does that.
Yeah. He's obviously going to take his time.
Very interesting view here.
Yeah. So
that hair.
With the backstab, you can get through the 4-4 and just do that, and then next turn try to prep the sprint into the Abyss again, because it's very unlikely your opponent will draw out the game.
But
he would need Doomguard. No. Well, prepping the fan, okay, so he's going to go for it for the 1 extra draw out of this. It's a 1 and 8.
It's a low tap. That's
no. Now, the main question here is, does this increase his outs? If so, it was probably a misplay, but I don't think it does increase his outs, because Amaz needs 3 damage, which is just 1 out of kind of the
he didn't play Doomguard
the
yet.
range.
And no power elements, right?
Yep. So Amaz now really has to weigh, do I tap? And I think now that we've seen, wow.
Now that's really unfortunate.
Well, it's not over actually, though.
Interesting note is that even if Amaz would have top decked Implosion, he couldn't play Juggler Implosion for lethal. He would be 1 damage off just because his board would be full.
Yeah. Yeah, probably. So now Purple back to the same spot, needs to draw 2 damage this time. He is very likely.
Yeah, this is the chance of
and it's just off the top. So he's
going
to
sprint for a prep.
He gives Amaz a nice smile there. And there it is.
But to be honest, like, that was his only out here from the 4 cards.
Yeah, but he has 8 cards left and draws 4.
Yeah, he was extremely likely to win at that last point, but so Amaz misses a win with his Zoo, which I think is incredibly important, because the rest of Purple's decks seem to have pretty good matchups against Zoo. He has a Freeze Mage and he has a Hunter deck.
Also, since he had that second prep, Deadly Poison and Blade Flurry was another out.
And also Rogue against Hunter, which is Amaz's 3rd deck, not that good. So Purple kind of squeaks out a win there that was incredibly important, evens up the series in a situation where he could have been 2-0 down with some bad matchups.
Well, the Freeze Mage is definitely favored against the Zoo, the usual Zoo, but with Void Colors, might kind of change.
Yeah, especially with stuff like Mal'Ganis, where you can't really go on as much of a, I'm just going to kill my opponent and ignore their board and win by Ice Block, because they actually have an out to that.
I still think it's like a 70% matchup for the Freeze Mage.
I think it might be a little lower than that, but...
And there's still Bane of Dooms, which can just turn the game around single-handedly.
Scared.
It's it's really interesting that Amaz would just play an egg. He does have an abusive, so he's going to start developing here.
Do you play the Knife Juggler first?
He's going to, and...
But do you want it to hit now? Like,
it will have to if he hits
well,
it.
It looks like he did think about it. He was aware that that could happen. And
but Freeze Mage doesn't have an AoE until like turn 4 with the coin or turn 5.
Leaving an egg up isn't the worst thing ever, but like you said,
you need the pressure
I think you'd want the 4 damage pressure.
And by playing the abusive and then the Knife Juggler, you still get that 1 knife of the Nerubian.
Right. So he would just have a 4-4 out with the exact same amount of damage.
But this way he had a chance to get 1 more damage if that first knife also hit face.
Yeah. Now I think Amaz's hand is actually pretty solid against Freeze Mage. You really don't want the chump creatures with 2 or 3 health that die to Blizzard and Flame Strike. You just want your top end.
Second time in a row.
Yeah.
The Mistress of Pain, but actually it's not that bad against Freeze Mage.
It's not that bad, but kind of going back to what we said, he really does want a lot more pressure over everything else.
To just Emperor into Doomsayer Frost Nova. Like, there is no way back.
Coin Emperor is insane here.
And so what are the odds of getting 2 Mistresses of Pains in a row? Like 2 times the same minion.
It's like...
It's 1 in 15.
It's like 1 in 225 then?
No, to get the Mistress, but like... To get the same one twice is 1 in 15.
Same one twice.
And it's a pretty bad one. Like, it's one of the 4 worst targets out of 15, so...
Yeah. So, Amaz is just going to go for the PO.
Do you PO the egg and just, like...
Yeah,
hope
I
there's
think
no
so.
But, like, he's going to get punished, like, so hard.
Yeah, but...
Why not PO the Mistress of Pain for the
PO
heal?
the Mistress for the heal. Yeah. Sure. So he leaves up the egg, respecting the AoE. Because we could see something like a 6-mana Flame Strike, 5-mana Blizzard.
How do you win against a Freeze Mage?
Yeah,
with 7
exactly.
reduced cards?
You're not putting any pressure on. Purple has all the time in the world, even has a heal bot in his hand. Might just play it this turn, yeah. Purple just saying, you have 5 damage on board. That's nothing compared to my health total. I'll get this down while I can. I can always AoE later.
On a scale from 1 to pre-nerf Undertaker, how balanced do you think is the Mad Scientist?
Mad Scientist is actually pretty nuts. I mean, he's only really good in 2 classes, so he's not that nuts that it makes Paladin secrets good.
Right.
But
well, this can change if Blizzard incorporates new secrets for Paladin, which with higher costs.
Yeah.
An example.
But that won't happen. Like, they will always have the same cost.
Yeah, you'd have to introduce a lot of secrets if you go to a new tier of cost, because then they wouldn't really be that
free.
secret.
Yeah, at least free.
Yeah.
No, but that's like the boom bots are one of the ways you can win against freeze mage, but it has to be super low anyway, and that's not gonna happen in this situation. This scenario, just Frost Nova with Doomsday for 3 mana is like I think the best clear in the game right now.
It's pretty good. It is susceptible to some counterplay like Owl, but Amaz probably only has 1 Owl in his deck, if any.
We didn't see any.
We haven't seen any, yeah.
Amaz can't even play a Doomguard tap and top deck abusive because his board would be full.
Yep.
So, Owl or bust.
It's pretty tough here, and Purple's going to think about Ice Lance. This is kind of a tell to his opponent, but...
Slicing the egg, right? Just to clear the egg.
Yeah, but then you have to double Ice Lance it in order to freeze it again.
Yeah, I agree with him not doing anything.
You can still double Ice Lance it for 4 next turn, so there's like no difference.
And no Owl means the Doomsayer is going to resolve, and we're going to get a Flame Strike to clear the entire board. But he will just go ahead and say, I'll take a random demon.
Invite Mal'Ganis.
I think you don't even want Mal'Ganis, I think. Well, I think Doomguard would have been the best. This one's actually really bad. Wow. Flame Strike just going to instantly clear.
And leave a 1/1 into the
Acolyte, yep.
And the Sylvanas is usually really bad in this matchup because that's one of the cards that can be used against you.
But you saw the Doomsayer already, so you don't really care about that.
Yeah, I think Amaz might even be tempted to just Mal'Ganis here.
I think you have to Mal'Ganis.
It's on curve. You get to kill the Acolyte for free.
But what if Purple just randomly put a mirror entity into his...
Oh, man. Wrecked. But I think that's all you've really got here if you're Amaz. And at this point, the Freeze Mage is in really good shape. Just dominating this game.
I think he was winning the game when you played Emperor on turn 5. I think that's pretty good.
Emperor and Freeze Mage, one of the things that really kind of brought it back to the forefront of competitive decks. And Purple is one of the few people that really sticks by it as one of the best decks still. And
this is the point when the game just
Yeah.
Can't be turned around by Amaz.
Yep, that Mal'Ganis, we talked about how it was a really key card, but when you just have to play it on curve and it dies to a fireball, not very good.
Yep.
Next there's a couple ways of winning with Dr. Boom into a Doomsayer or just like a good Mal'Ganis, but for all of those you need to have an early start and get like at least like 17 to 20 damage in within the first like 6 or 7 turns.
Yeah, so Purple just going to slowly clear up the board with these Blizzards, draw more cards with Acolyte, really just looking to get to Alexstrasza.
Oh, no, wow. That's unfortunate.
The Doom Guards, man, they travel in pairs. And Purple's happy to see that.
See, Giant can't really fit that into that turn, this turn.
Yep. I think you just have to...
Smog.
Yeah, I think you have to go face. You cannot respect the Acolyte.
He only saw one heal bottle for now. There was no Alexstrasza deck. Dealing the damage even seems like a best option here. Doesn't really achieve much.
And now with the Doomsayer, with the Sylvanas on board, he can clear the board at any time he wants. You just play Doomsayer and use a burn spell on the Sylvanas.
Yep.
And I actually...
Okay, so he just wants to win next turn because there's no way he can lose.
Yeah,
right?
He probably knows if Amaz plays Lothab or not. And since he's a Sea Giant, chances are he doesn't.
Even with Lothab, you do have the second ice block. Yeah. I have kind of lost in this position before with my opponent power-whelming to steal the Archmage, getting fireballs themselves, playing Lothab, and then playing Mal'Ganis.
Played a PO and a Bane of Doom, so chances are...
everything's out of it. Amaz basically has no outs as far as we know.
Oh,
there is Lothab, but you still have to...
Kill the Antonidas.
Yeah, well, you can steal it.
Do you go for the 50-50 or do you trade into the Acolyte first?
I think you have to trade into the Acolyte first.
I mean, you have to be optimistic here. So
you do have to be optimistic. You have to go for your exact outs. And I think Amaz's outs basically come down to, is he playing a Kazan Mystic in his Zoo deck now? And I don't think so.
He doesn't have to expect the second ice barrier, ice block. He could just pretend the second ice block is the last card in Purple's deck. The second last card is Alex Feather, so he might just want to smoke him. Like, play low tap. Wait, you could actually proc the...
No, you can't pop the ice block.
Well, you can if you...
You can, but then you die.
Yeah. You could if your C-Gen was a low tap, you didn't have to tap.
Good play, Sixo.
If you could play the Argus.
Yeah, of course. But, you know, he decides this is his only way of somewhat winning. And...
But is it really not?
The game's going to go on a bit longer, but the real question is, does Amaz even have a chance? So it's interesting to see what Purple will do here. He could Frost Dome or he could just Fireball Face. And I kind of like Fireballing Face because it reduces the odds of you losing to...
To what?
But there's nothing in there. Like nothing left.
Frost Nova does play around Kazan.
He knows Amaz list. He knows there's no Kazan. He knows there's no Leopard Gnome. So, like, I don't see a way to lose this game. Like, I think it would have to AFK for more than one turn.
He just denies the tap.
No, it doesn't. He can still tap.
Oh, man. Well, Amaz's going to seppuku. And Purple's actually going to take the lead 2-1. Now just needs a win with his Hunter over Zoo or Amaz's Hunter.
Is Purple playing a Face Hunter
He's
or
playing mid-range, not even hybrid. He's playing mid-range.
Purple actually got #1 Legend for quite a long time on NA server last month with just very defensive mid-range, like double Houndmaster, double Belcher, lots of taunts,
Only
lots of mid-range. Okay.
Jeff was a double Houndmaster.
So freezing traps are to be expected. He does have Leper Gnomes, though, so maybe this is more of like a hybrid Hunter rather than very mid-range.
Basically just mid-range with Leper Gnomes instead of Web Spinners.
Yeah.
I favor the Leper Gnomes over Web Spinners in most situations. Because the Web Spinner is not... It doesn't give any pressure at all.
Yeah.
So it's not threatening like to
Purple's hand is terrible. He would rather have a Web Spinner right now than the Leper Gnome.
Amaz's hand is insane. So...
1-1.
Yeah.
I mean 2-2.
Well, a Glaive Zook off the top would be really nice.
Oh, tilty. Even out of the field.
So, he is still challenging Amaz's board, but he's about to get hit for 7 in the face. Never feels good.
But he could top deck Unleash. If he top decks Unleash, he actually is in a really good position.
Yeah, well, he can always...
a decent position.
No, like in a basically one game.
You think so? That it's a single Unleash and 10-3?
Yeah, you'd be left with just a 1-1.
You board, you have a 1-1 and your opponent has 2 cards. So
and then he just plays Imgang Boss.
Imgang Boss, trades for the dog.
He's still out of cards and you can always...
well, I mean, Zoo basically doesn't run out of cards.
I mean, he has to tap or play inefficient.
Right, so Amaz really laying on the pressure here.
And if you just force Amaz to hero power 1 turn, he would get the Belcher into high main and just like get the tempo.
Purple has like nothing going here. The Unleash definitely would have helped. And wow.
Now this is also perfect to kill the Abusive Surgeon. So
that's going to be like
up the
game next turn.
Why do you even trade? I guess it doesn't matter.
I think he's just trading to save the 3-2. But
I guess adds a Knife Track Unleash. But actually Knife Track Unleash Hunter's Mark.
Clearly Purple has to play that Belcher, and it's not quite game over because the damage adds up pretty inefficiently.
I would actually try to generate more imps with the Imgang Boss last turn, so you can be more favored to trade with the Belcher on Tin 5, because you saw that there were no cards used.
Then you get more minions.
I actually thought it was really interesting that Amaz put the Imgang Boss in the middle of 2 Abusives, which for Argus is usually incorrect, because it doesn't give you the option of Argusing the other 2 targets.
Yeah.
You have to Argus the Imgang Boss.
And if you place the Imgang Boss, is usually on the far left.
Yeah.
Because if you play like a Direwolf, you always want to buff the imps that are going out of the right side.
So is this lethal? No. It's 6 damage.
But you can just Void Caller and PO the Void Caller.
Oh man, you could do that, but do you want to? I think you just bust through the Belcher and play the Void Caller. It's going to put Purple to 4, even make another 1-1, and this is just unrecoverable for Purple.
Even Unleash the Hounds with Knife Juggle wouldn't have done it.
Yeah. Just game over, basically. Really ridiculous start from the Zoo this game.
Well,
what if he just like places Freezing Trap and just like stuffs the Ice Block?
Bluffs the Ice Block.
Bluffs the Ice Block. You would need a marker to change the color from the trap from green to blue. Yeah. I mean to purple.
I mean, Amaz might be pretty tired. They had a long flight.
That was 2 days ago, man.
Okay. I'm still pretty tired from my flight. But so it's 2-2. Game 5 to decide the last member of our top 8. And it comes down.
What better matchups could it be?
To the Smork.
It's not
Hunter on Hunter.
It's not the smoke per se, right?
Right. They're both playing very defensive versions, as we can see by the Sledge Belchers.
But Purple plays Explosive Trap, like a one-off,
Purple
right, on his deck.
Purple has a Mad Scientist, Amaz is a Knife Juggler. You don't want to have that trade.
Yeah, Amaz kept Knife Juggler, and Purple kept Animal Companion.
Well,
so
there's an Owl for the Mad Scientist.
Right. Owl's actually very important in this matchup.
Yeah, but there's no answer to the Abusive Sergeant. If he plays it, he has the top deck, either Mad Scientist or Haunted People.
Yep. So Hunter Mirror, definitely something where you just throw out an Abusive as a 2-1. It challenges a lot of their threats.
If you play the Owl, you have a chance to play Knife Juggler Abusive next turn.
I would really hate playing the Owl.
But what else would you like? What play do you like here?
I'd probably just Abusive here.
But then you don't have the option
you
of
don't
playing
have
2
the
minions
knife,
next turn.
yeah, but I don't know. It's definitely looking rough for Amaz. I don't think it's entirely decided yet, but
it's funny that when you watch the Hunter's Mirror matches, they exactly have the needed answers to a Hunter class.
Right.
Because Explosive Trap is just wrecking the other Hunter.
Yeah.
Freezing Trap is also really great in most situations, unless there will be an Unleash the Hounds, because that's a counter to Freezing Trap. But it's also from Hunter.
That's a lot of classes that the perfect counter deck would be the Mirror match tagged against it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like for mages.
Yeah, if you tech your Hunter deck for the Mirror, you will win a lot.
That's basically every class.
Yeah, you can get extremely high win rates.
Warlock has the Sacrificial Pact. Mage has a counter spell, which is not as great.
So we saw Amaz go with your play, which was playing the Owl, and he did so really begrudgingly, was not happy about it. And now he has to go for the 50-50 juggle.
And this
if he doesn't hit this juggle, and he misses.
No.
I think actually had a good chance to win if he hit, because he could easily trigger the Freezing Trap with the Abusive Sergeant.
With the Abusive.
Huffer, always Huffer.
It's
but it's actually the worst outcome
It's
here.
the best, I think, because of the trap.
Oh, right. But is it freezing?
I think he plays 1 Explosive, 2 Freezing. Don't quote me on that, but
yeah.
Actually, it's Explode. No,
so it is freezing.
No, it's freezing. It's freezing.
We did see 1 Explosive in his opening hand.
Do you quick shot Freezing Trap or just play the Shredder?
I think it's quick shot Freezing Trap, because now you ensure that the Pelt Shredder or Belcher with a coin will be stopped.
If you just
Shredder,
if you just Shredder, you can get really blown out by another Freezing Trap or a Sledge Belcher like we're going to see. And you're already going down to 20, which is pretty ridiculously low in this matchup, especially when you have no taunts in hand.
And it's turn 4.
It's turn 4, and now it's like you're just going to end up quick shotting anyway.
Yep.
So he does get a quick shot plus Abusive this turn if he wants, or he can just set up the freezing.
I think the
what's the point of playing a Snake Trap in a format where you play at least like up to I think 12 rounds?
Right.
So at some point, everyone will
10,
know.
Yeah.
Well, it can be a factor when the Mad Scientist pops the trap, right? Because then it's like a random factor that your opponent has to guess.
Yeah. Snake Trap is one of those traps that if your opponent doesn't see it coming, it's the best trap in the game. But if they're aware of it, it can be entirely useless.
But like the meta is mainly Handlock and Grim Patron Warrior. Both not like the best targets to have Snake Trap in.
So we are on Purple's point of view, and both players have set up a Savannah High main. They're both playing really slow decks, and so we're actually seeing a lot of heavy threats coming out.
Yeah,
and Amaz's hand is much weaker if Purple can deal with this board. And I think his way of dealing with it is Smork. So instantly you went face with that high main. Following the Amaz's law,
I still think
if you hit the face,
you win.
But there's a chance you want to play Abusive Sergeant. Like, you should have considered it more.
He didn't even think about it.
Now he has to go face with it.
Instantly did it. So
force himself into going
what
face
can you put your opponent to here if you bow? And he's going to do that. That's
5,
what he
that's a perfect
decides.
number.
6.
Oh.
So something needs to live here for Purple. And what Amaz needs to look to do is clear everything.
Well, the Hunter's Mark will be helpful.
Yeah, it will. He needs to clear literally everything and set up lethal for next turn.
He needs to draw a Savage Roar.
ridiculous here. Like, how do you do that?
There's probably no way of doing that.
Well,
Like-
the Boombots are going to have to pull some heavy work here.
But like, is there a possible
Feign
move?
Death.
Feign
Like,
Death.
you need a Hunter's Mark
Oh, man.
high main.
Yeah, you
Why?
need a Hunter's Mark
Why
first, I
doesn't-
think.
Yeah, definitely.
You're definitely Hunter's
Mark
marking that.
first.
So
Yeah.
I think Amaz will reach that conclusion. Yep.
What
Oh,
the-
wow.
What?
Is always going to freezing the high main, of course.
Oh.
Okay, so
So you actually can go face and set it up
Yeah.
lethal.
wow, and this will set up lethal.
Wow, and we didn't see
Yeah,
that.
we just completely didn't see it, of course. Now,
You don't play that snake.
snake
the
trap doesn't matter.
I guess you die to unleash anyway, right?
Yeah, you're even threatening like maybe an explosive here just to make your opponent think about not attacking.
Maybe it's misdirection, who knows?
You're dead to unleash 100%, so yeah, maybe misdirection, yeah. So this is actually a top deck for the game, and
And it's not.
that's not it.
What do you think
And
about...
just out of nowhere, purple loses.
What do you think about playing low tap last turn? Would it change anything?
I feel like purple, he didn't really take too much time to think through it. He just went face and didn't.
Yeah,
he was
didn't-
one off, no damage in hand, and
He just played too fast. that
they're just
turn.
going to hug it out.
So,
I think he will keep his drop, right?
purple plays for the salary.
Yeah.
Purple plays for the salary, collusion confirmed.
But those are some nice liquid jackets, though.
Liquid? See what, mate?
Well, Amaz going to advance to the top 8.
Congratulations to him. We'll have him for a short interview in a few seconds here, but Frodan is missing.
Frodan is missing.
Well, we can do it anyway.
Where are you, Frodan?
Yeah. So, in retrospect, what could have been done differently in the last game?
A lot of stuff. That game went incredibly fast. Both players never roped, really. And so, like, I feel like the Hunter Mirror is a lot more intricate than it seems.
People seem to like belittle
Right,
the
every
mirror
single
match.
point of damage matters, and that really came into play last match.
Those traits are so important. Like sometimes you don't even want to play Animal Companion when you know that there can be like an easy trade with a quick shot, because more resilient minions, like let's say Palette Shredder, might be always better, even if it doesn't have a charge, or the taunt will be more important than every single card in the game.
So we have Frodan here. Amaz is still missing.
Oh yeah, welcome back, guys.
So you can be the host now.
That's something. Yeah, we have all these notes and stuff, but
First of all, congratulations, you advanced as the last spot to the top 8.
apparently,
So how do you feel now?
I don't know. That was just weird. I thought I was dead 5 times over, and I thought he was dead 5 times over to the games that he was
That-
not dead.
Yeah.
That was
It
our
was
feeling
the
too.
weird thing. Yeah, it was a very intense series, I guess.
That's true, and we didn't see exactly the play that you did on the last turn with the freezing trap and the snake trap. That was like wondering how
We
did
just
set
thought
up
you had
lethal?
lost.
And like,
Oh, what?
really, we thought that it's already lost. For
Oh,
you.
it's already
It was
lost? I was like, oh yeah, I just lost this, so whatever, just play
Yeah, when you Hunters mark the slime, you're like, huh.
and there was a low tap in Purple's hand.
Okay.
And we were thinking like, what if we actually played the low tap to
Oh.
deny you traps, Hunter's Mark?
Oh, what did he play instead? He
just
played.
went
oh
face.
yeah, he went face. He went face. He
Yeah,
went
he
face.
went face,
right?
everything.
He gives you to
Yeah,
gets
I'm
you
not
to 6
re-
HP, and 6 HP is kind of the same as 10 because he needs a high main attack anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, hero power is just 5, so
Okay.
Yeah, I think that Lothar really would have been good.
Yeah, but it was
that's
just
true.
1 damage. It was like I lose to every single card.
Every
right?
card in the
every
game.
card in the game, but apparently not those 4 cards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
That was kind of crucial, but congrats anyway. But at least one of our members is in the top 8.
Well, yeah, that was kind of already known.
we were talking about it before
Yeah.
we did start the game here,
But
and Xixor said that he would favor both of you guys if you would be paired against
yeah,
other players in
exactly.
the top
Yeah,
8.
if we face against 2 people, we might have both advanced. So we would have
Might?
met somewhere down the line, maybe in the
Might?
finals or
you
something.
might have both advanced. Where's your confidence?
Oh yeah. Oh well. I mean, you gotta be humble too, right?
Yeah.
Big
Yeah.
shout. I'll let you guys do the cocky / confident things, but
Yeah,
I gotta.
that's all you, 6
But yeah, big shout out to Purple. He played his heart out, and I think a lot of people don't realize like how hard it is to play like a 128-man bracket and then wait for like
Pretty
3
grueling,
hours every
yeah.
match. It actually gets pretty tiring. So yeah, just shout out to all the players in general, really.
I would like to ask every single player this question: is what do you think about the Swiss tournament? Is it?
To be honest, it's kind of like a double elimination to me.
No, it's not.
Well, it kind of is. I mean, it could have gone faster, but it's pretty cool that it has 128 people. I think the last time I played such a big pool was DreamHack Bucharest, and that was like, what, ages ago? Like a year and a half ago, something like that?
Yeah, but that was best of 3 single elimination.
No, that was best of 3. Oh, that was just bad.
That was horrifying.
People didn't know what to do back then, but it's cool to play in such a big field once again, and have some not a lot of well-known names, but they still play really well. I played against Rose in the first match. She was really, really good, and so are much of our other players. So good experience.
Good experience. Yeah, there's a ton of upgrades as usual to do. But when it comes to this tournament, I think the tournament format really fits well to Hearthstone, obviously, because it's a tournament format that fits every card game. And the only thing that we can change, like in the future, is maybe a bigger cut from top 8 to top 16.
Maybe 2 more rounds,
But then you don't have a guaranteed player with undefeated results.
Yeah, that's true.
Because we fixed number of rounds to the pool player pool.
There should be like 9 rounds, and then the person who gets 9 gets like a bonus or something.
A bonus.
Yeah, gets to bring Chucky home for a day.
Ooh.
But no real talk. Like you just thought the player pool was pretty bad, that you would have a way too high chance to advance and just through the first game to make it hard. Like.
Oh, you mean losing the first game?
Yeah, it was like just to give people a chance, right? Like you didn't want to just crush.
Yeah, losing the first game was terrible.
You kind of like silently went through this tournament, made top 8 because you were like first round streamed and you lost, and people were like, yeah, Amaz lost.
Yeah.
And then I like heard your name was a 5-1. I'm like, oh.
Am I the only
one?
Back. Am I the only one who lost the first one that advanced?
I'm pretty sure.
We have 2 people who won the first 5 in a row and then didn't advance.
Oh.
Feels
that's a
bad.
pattern usually.
That's a shame.
Well, yeah, please put the record we would see and comment do the comments for the tomorrow. That's the single elimination playoffs. Hawkeye versus Dog, Nico the Great versus Chucky, Tillerserso versus Amaz, and Unit versus AKA Wonder. So we have 2 representatives of North America here.
Oh,
quite
baby.
a strong showing.
Yeah.
NA, best reward.
There were 2 North American or 2 United States players left, me and Dog, after like 5 rounds. We both made top 8.
That's pretty sweet.
What about purple?
Oh, NA number 1? Confirmed.
We'll see, because you will be facing each other probably in the semifinals.
Probably. Whoa. Okay.
Well, at most 1 US person is going to make it to the finals, right?
At most.
At most.
But, you only need 1 to win.
Oh.
Amaz, did you play against Tillerserso at all?
At all? Like ever?
Yes.
I forget. I actually probably haven't. It's going to be fun. He's a really good player. I mean,
he's a really good player and a friend.
He got 7-0, did he?
Yes. No, wait.
Hawkeye
was 7-0.
Hawkeye got 7-0.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Well, I guess they
With
were just
Shaman.
casually playing. It's just Shaman?
Mid-range Shaman.
Okay,
Shaman with X.
that's pretty baller, actually.
Yeah, with Reincarnate.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, we get to see the deck list, apparently.
Yes,
Yeah.
of course, because that usually happens in tournaments, majors, in usual card games, because every single player will be scouting anyway.
Sure.
Right.
So it puts like an even field for everyone.
Okay.
Especially with the stream games and stuff.
Yeah,
we don't want to be like
exactly.
unfair to people who got their game streamed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I
Cool.
guess that's it for today. We're done. Every single match was being played.
All right.
And congrats again, Amaz.
Thank
we'll
you.
be seeing you tomorrow at the same site.
Yeah.
Gonna make the finals again?
Well, if there are no hi mom messages, then maybe I have a chance. I mean,
RDU, just leave RDU on your friend list. He might actually say it to you, right?
The ghost of RDU.
Okay. Oh man.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah.
Nice catchphrase again.
It'll be fun tomorrow.
Yeah. So thank you very much for watching, and that's it for today. See you tomorrow, guys.